what's up guys? We're changing a thermostat on a 2011 Chevy Duramax 6.6. I looked on the web on YouTube and stuff. I never could find a video for this particular truck. I found one for the older ones, and I actually found a lot of people asking for a video for this one, and all they could find was the older ones. So I decided to go ahead and make a video of me changing mine out. So on the older model trucks, I assume it's the same for this one. Step one is remove this top part. Got 3 bolts bolted on. There was a 10mm there, another 10mm right back there that I just loosened up, and then there was a 12mm underneath here as well. So I took all 3 of those out and fixing to take the show you. Took the top part there off. The thermostats, there's 2 of them, as you probably most of you already know. They're going to be right there and there. So looks like there's a few things that's going to need to come off for me to be able to get to the end. There's no videos showing how to do this properly, so I'm just going in the direction here that I think I need to go. There's 2 screws right here. I guess this is the upper radiator hose. Got line going to the AC, and then there are 2 screws right there. And so I'm gonna take those out first. That way this whole thing here can actually be pushed out of the way so that I can get 1 step closer to that little guy down there. Alright, I'll let you know how it goes. Alright guys, I got these 2 bolts out here. Just moved this thing kind of over here out of the way. And then now I'm going to take the bolt loose that holds the filler cap or the filler neck on for the oil fill line. Alright guys, a little bit of update here. Got these 2 bolts out of here and got the additional bolt out of there where it bolts up to the filler neck of the oil line. Next thing that has to come out is this deal here. Again, sorry, I don't know all the technical names to this stuff, but anyways, that pretty much just pops right out of there. I kind of got a screwdriver and wedged down in between there and popped it out. So that'll be next on your list. And then it looks to me like we are now down to the thermostats. So I'm gonna take out that bolt as well as this one back here, and then I gotta remove this clamp for the hose. A little bit of an update here. So took the top radiator hose off, just got a pair of channel locks and open that up. And then now that I've got that off, I'm just kind of pushing it over here to the side. And then I'm gonna see if I can work out this. I went ahead and popped it loose, this little cover. And by the way, there's actually another bolt down in the fan shroud, right down in here, if you can see that. There was 2 bolts there. There was one on top and one on bottom. So I got both of those out. And then I'm just trying to work this out. There we go. So I'll tell you firsthand, you definitely don't need to take all that other stuff off. The oil filler neck does not need to come off. The AC compressor does not need to come off. I mean, I took like 3 things off and I was good. I pulled this out of the way. I pulled off that top radiator hose, and I loosened 4 bolts down there, and this thing came off. And then it's pretty simple. I spilled a little bit of coolant. I could hear it. I haven't looked to see how much yet, but it wasn't much. I mean, not enough to cause concern. I'll wash it off with the water hose here in a minute, but for the most part, It seems so far pretty straightforward. I'm gonna pull out these old thermostats, put the new ones in, and then bolt this thing back together. Got the old thermostat here out. Wasn't too difficult. I just grabbed a hold of the top of it there with a pair of pliers and just came right out. And got the new ones installed. They're not AC DELCO, which I regret to say, but this was all they had. I called 4 different parts stores and nobody had AC DELCO on hand, and I just needed to get it done. So I'll probably go back, now that I've done this once, it'll be easy to do again. I'll probably go back and replace with AC DELCO later. These just feel a little bit cheaper and thinner, and they don't feel quite as heavy duty as the AC DELCOs. So I definitely want to eventually put those back in, but for right now I just need to get it done and get the truck heating properly, because I'm throwing a check engine light right now. Alright guys, things are moving pretty good. Got the upper radiator hose back on, got the, it's getting kind of dark, it's hard to see now, but anyways, got the housing back on over the top of the thermostats, and now just fixing to put the last couple of bolts in. I gotta put this sensor back in here. Gotta run this line back over and reconnect those 2 screws or bolts down there. Need to connect the 2 bolts that go into the fan shroud. And then that's pretty much it. I torqued those down to 18 foot-pounds. That's pretty much what I read on the other Duramaxes, so may want to look that up to confirm, but that's what, pretty sure that's what it turned out to be. So anyways, I'll keep you posted. Alright guys, a couple of things here. Got those 2 bolts back on. That's definitely by far the worst part of this whole deal. Those bolts are in there tight. I guess that's why they have you take out the AC compressor on some of these so you can get to those easier, but with a wrench and a small socket I can get up in there. Got the cap back on. There's 4 bolts that hold that on, no big deal. Got that sensor back on, got the radiator hose back on. Made a little bit of a mistake earlier and took that off. That doesn't actually have to come off. Thought it did, but I should have paid a little closer attention. This actually just slides up on there. It's kind of hard to see in the dark, but like that, and then clamps down in the back, it looks like. Just like that. So now, if you were gonna take it off again, if I were to remove it, I would remove that 10mm right there and the 10mm right there. And then you could just easily pop it off, slide it forward, and it will come right off. So just to fix that mistake. Okay, so got everything put back together. Pretty sure everything's back where it was supposed to be. Didn't have any leftover parts. It's always a good sign. The next thing that I think I'm supposed to do is bleed the system. So I've got some Dexcool here, GM 50/50 Freestone. I'm gonna put in the reservoir. Okay, so we got our final video here. Kind of go from start to finish really quick. Took this off again, 10mm there, 10mm there. That slides right off the end. Then took off our top radiator hose right there, slid that back out of the way. Took off these 2, I believe they were 12mm bolts right here. Once both of those come off, this little valve can move back out of the way. Loosened our 4 12mm bolts down there, one on the left, one on the right. Same thing over here, one on the left, one on the right. I pulled that sensor out right there, that black sensor right there just pops right out. Pop that out, put it right back in. So once all that was done, the 2 thermostats are underneath it, replace those, and then put everything right back the same way it was, just 4 bolts. That's all that holds that on. Torque them down, I believe, to 18 foot-pounds. That's what I did. Then you want to fill your reservoir back up. And I could never find a bleeder valve on this thing. Some of the older ones I saw that there was like a bleeder valve down here somewhere where you could turn a bolt and let the coolant bleed out and it would get all the air out of the system. I never could find one. I did some research online, looked at some videos, never could find anything. So what I did was I just started the truck, went and drove it around, refilled it with coolant, went and drove it around, refilled it with coolant, and just did that a few times, and it seems to be working properly. I'm getting up to temperature now, which wasn't happening. To end the video, I just wanted to go over the things you'll need to go ahead and finish out this job. You know, no reason to have more tools than what you have to have. I simply had 13mm wrench, a ratchet with an extension on it to be able to get down deep in there whenever I take out the cover off of the thermostat, 10mm, 12mm, 13mm, my impact, which you don't have to have, but if you've got one, it makes it a little easier. Vice grips, channel locks, a torque wrench, and of course the thermostats themselves, and you'll need at least a gallon of coolant just to replace what spilled. Other than that, that should be all that you need, and good luck, guys.